Hi everyone! Today we will quickly add budgets for the EBITDA and gross margin. After that, we will add conditional formatting for EBITDA and gross margin values inside the income statement. Here, we are building a customized profit and loss statement, where we are able to slice the data by country/profit center, product. We can also switch on and off different types of costs from the income statement and see how business performs with or without this or that type of costs. We will also be able to slice the income statement by segment. All tutorial links you will be able to find in the description of this video. If you find these short tutorials valuable, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's start with the budgets for the gross margin in percentages. For that, we will be using parameters in Power BI. Going to Modeling, New Parameter, Numeric Range. The name for the parameter will be Budget Gross Margin in percentages. Data type will be decimal number. Minimum will be 0. Maximum will be 1. Increment will be 0.01. Default value will be 0.2, meaning 20%. Click Add Slicer to this page. Click Create. We can copy the format from the previous slicer that we've created during our previous tutorial. Now we can go to General, Data Format, setting the format to percentage. Going back to Visual, in Values, we can set up the color for the budget values. We can also change a bit the parameter background color to the light blue to make it distinguished from the slicers. Going to General, Effects, Backgrounds, now playing with color. Now let's create another parameter for the EBITDA in percentages. Let's copy the format for this parameter from the gross margin. Now if we start playing with these budget levels for the EBITDA and gross margin, nothing will happen with our income statement, because currently these budget parameters are not connected to the profit and loss statement. They are living here, but are not connected to our profit and loss statement. Now it's time to link them. For that, we will create several measures for the font and background colors for the EBITDA in percentages and gross margin in percentages. Let's start with conditional formatting measure for the background color for the gross margin in percentages. The measure name will be CF for conditional formatting, back for the background, gross margin in percentages. Here I have hex colored for the green and red. So the DEX formula will be very simple. If gross margin measure in percentages will be less than gross margin parameter value, we will return red color. Otherwise, we will return green. Pressing Enter. Let's place this measure inside the measures table. Now we can assign it. Let's select our income statement. Then we need to find and right-click on gross margin in percentages. Conditional formatting, background color. Here we need to select field value. We're applying this measure to the values and totals. In this menu, we need to find and select the measure that we've just created. CF, back, gross margin in percentages. Click OK. Now, if we start playing with our gross margin budget value, the background color will be changing accordingly. Now let's create conditional formatting measure for the EBITDA in percentages for the background. Similar actions. I just need to replace the main measure to EBITDA in percentages and budget parameter to EBITDA as well. Let's also assign this measure. Now we can quickly assign the font for below and above the budget's levels. Below budgets, font will be white. Above the budget, font will be black. Here are the hex colors for the font. Writing the measure for the gross margin font. I can use the previous measure. Let's quickly assign it. Now we're doing the same exercise for the EBITDA. Assigning this measure. Now we can play with budget levels for the gross margin and EBITDA, and we will see how the income statement conditional formatting reacts accordingly. We can also use date hierarchy as well. Let's see how it works. Now we can move to slicer selections. That will be the topic of our next tutorial. All tutorial links you will be able to find in the description of this video. If you find these short tutorials valuable, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.